Welcome to another edition of Sticks and Stones. I am your host, Brent Elrod, coming to you from the cozy confines here on the patio at the No Shoes Bar and Grill, deep in the heart of the Republic of Texas. Not only is this another edition of Sticks and Stones, this is episode 1 of season 3. We have made it through 2 full years and I have not quit yet. So I think I'm just going to keep this thing going. I kind of like it. I hope you do too. Seems like you do. I see people listening. So I've got a great pairing lined up today. I am pairing a Brickhouse Maduro with Jack Daniel's Triple Mash, which is a bottled in bond Tennessee whiskey. I think you're going to enjoy it, so right after this we will pop the cork, cut the stick, and get to toasting. Now the Brickhouse Maduro, this is a Robusto. It is 5 by 54 on the ring gauge. It has a filler and binder that's Nicaraguan, and it has a Brazilian Arapiraca cloak around it. That's kind of a lot to get out for a country boy, but you know, it's medium to full strength. Visually, the cloak on it is really super dark. As I've done the last several episodes, I am streaming this live on Instagram until I get through introducing the matchups, and then you have to wait until the audio pops before you can hear my final thoughts. But as you can see, if you're on the video right now, it's a very, very dark, like chocolate brown. It is very tight seams, almost invisible. It's got some minimal veining, but not a lot. The few veins that are on it are pronounced. And it has kind of the feel of, you know, like, I don't know, maybe a really light sandpaper. It has a hint of tooth and a triple cap. Now on the nose, I get some aged tobacco and some baking spices up front, followed by some dark chocolate, maybe some malt, a little bit of peppers, more like pepper plants, like green peppers, red peppers. It's got a little bit of nuttiness to it, maybe a little bit of smoky. It's got cedar and some kind of creamy caramel. It's a pretty complex stick. I am going to give it a cut with my Cigarism hollow cut guillotine cutter. I love Cigarism. They have some great products. You need to go by and check them out if you haven't already, and tell them that Brent sent you from Sticks and Stones. We got a good cut. Now the cold draw gives us some notes of like black pepper, maybe some malted chocolate, and some more caramel creaminess. It really does. The cold draw kind of plays right along with the nose. Now, Jack Daniel's Triple Mash is some fairly new offerings from Jack Daniel's. They've been out a little while, but it's where they've kind of, you know, strayed away from the old number 7 and Gentleman Jack. But, you know, Jack Daniel's may be the absolute best well-known whiskey brand in the world. I think everybody, when you see the old number 7 logo or the Jack Daniel's, even if you don't really know anything about whiskey, you at least have heard of that because it's, you know, in movies and advertisements and all kinds of stuff. This Triple Mash offering is a blend of straight whiskeys. It's bottled in bond, which is a label for an American-produced distilled beverage that has been aged and bottled according to a set of legal regulations contained in U.S. Government Code Standards of Identity for Distilled Spirits as originally laid out in the Bottled and Bond Act of 1897. And yes, I did have to read some of that because I couldn't remember it all. Now, this came out, the release date for the triple mash was May of 2022. So like I said, it's been out for a little while. It's got alcohol by volume of 50%, so it's 100 proof. It's a non-age statement, but it's based on the bonding regulations. It has to be aged for at least 4 years. Now the mash bill, and this is something I'm going to have to read too because there's a lot of it, but you need to understand, 60% of what goes into this bottle is Jack Daniel's Tennessee Rye. Now the mash bill on their rye is 70% rye, 18% corn, and 12% malted barley. 20% is Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey, and it's 80% corn, 12% rye, and 8% malted barley. And then the final 20% is Jack Daniel's American Malt, which I have no experience with. I need to try and look that one up and try it too. But it is a 100% malted barley. So think kind of along the lines of a Scotch, even though it's not smoked, but Scotch is 100% malted barley. So let's go ahead and, oh yeah, that was a wonderful sound. Let's go ahead and glass some up. Now this has, the folks on watching on Insta, you can tell, this has a beautiful reddish copper color. There's even maybe a little tinge of gold to it. It's really beautiful in the glass. And it's got some decent legs. It's a little thinner than what I thought it would be, but still, it's got decent legs on it. And on the nose, it is very gentle. It doesn't hit you with a big wave of alcohol nose burn. I pick up a little bit of earthy aroma, maybe some fruits, red raspberries and stone fruits like plums or figs. And there's a little cedar mixed with the oak component for the woodsy nose. On the palate, that's exceptionally smooth going down to be 100 proof. It does hit you on the finish, but when you first put it in your mouth, it is just velvety smooth. It starts with maybe some red raspberries, something a little darker along the lines of black cherry. You're getting some oak, and something along the lines of maybe like a caramelized plantains. That's about the best way I can describe it. If you don't have any experience with plantains, it's kind of like a banana, kind of, not really, but looks like it. And they are very good, especially if you caramelize them in some sugary syrup. However they do that, I don't know, I'm not a chef. The finish is kind of a short to medium finish. It does offer you some, like a little bit of cinnamon, some vanilla, and a little bit more spice and oak. All in all, this is an outstanding whiskey. I really like this. This is my first time trying it. Have to be careful I don't get carried away. I'll end up doing nothing but drinking for the next 10 minutes. So, all right, now let's go ahead and light up this stick and see what it will give us. I am using, as pretty much always, my Rocky Patel Envoy 5-torch. Envoy, not on boy. I won't even insert Epstein jokes. About 3 inches or so away from the end, just so I start seeing some red. And then I kind of I bring the cigar and the lighter a little closer together, but I just touch it, just barely touch it to the flame, and just wave it back and forth. Make sure I get a good light all the way across. I'm getting, and something that's kind of weird, but I really like it, is like something along the lines of malted chocolate, kind of like Whoppers, you know, those little round balls covered with chocolate, and you crunch them up. Oh, yeah. So something along those lines. Uh, a creamy caramel. There's maybe a hint of berries of some sort. Can't really put my finger on which one it is. There's a little bit of black pepper and some really good cedar notes. But this is a very smooth cigar. It is not overpowering. It's not real peppery, at least to my taste. I really like it. And it is putting off a phenomenal amount of smoke. I really like this cigar. Let's go ahead and try these together. Oh yeah, that's really good. That's really good. I'm getting, I'm sorry if I'm a little big on the video screen. I make sure I lean into the microphone. I'm getting a little bit of fruit, you know, off of both. Like I said, I couldn't put my finger on the exact kind of berry, but it's getting kind of a fruity flavor on the stick. And then we had some like raspberries and black cherries in the triple mash. There's also you know, kind of a creamy caramel in both, kind of tying it together. And then there is some really good notes of cedar in both. So that kind of builds an underframe for the rest of the palate of both these together. These are going great together. I'm going to go ahead and burn this down to the halfway mark, and I will come back and give the audio listeners an update, and I'm going to drop off the live video. So for the audio people, more's coming right now. Hey Stoners, I am back here at the halfway mark. The stick has brought out some more dark chocolate, some espresso kind of taking the lead, followed by some baking spices like cloves and nutmeg, and maybe even a little bit of spicy ginger in there. The triple mash was an excellent choice for this matchup, and I could not be happier with the way these two are going together. They're offering a wonderful smoothness it's really hard to find in both a stick and a spirit at the exact same time. I'm going to go ahead and burn this down the rest of the way, and I will come back and give you my final thoughts. Hey Stoners, I am back. Our glass is empty, our stick is down to the band, and they went together exceptionally. The stick in the last half brought out you know, a little more espresso, caramel. There was a little touch of maybe citrus in there, kind of like lemon zest or orange zest, a little licorice, some more baking spices, and maybe even a little bit of like grilled meat, grilled steak to kind of go with some cedar. Now the triple mash, as I said, was an excellent choice for this matchup. I am exceptionally pleased with, and that may not be a phrase, but I was really happy with the way these turned out. The Jack Daniels, it's 100 proof, but you don't really know it. It's very smooth. It's got some really good complex flavors in the palate, and a great finish on it. I would highly recommend it. The Brickhouse Maduro by J.C. Newman, I would give it a 93 matchsticks out of 100. And this Jack Daniels triple mash, I would give it a 96 whiskey stones. I think it may be the best thing that Jack Daniels has put out, as far as I'm concerned. They were really great together and really great individually. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. please hit like, subscribe, share, notify, ring all the bells, blow all the whistles, all that kind of stuff. And hit the share button. Share these episodes on your page so that it gets out to more and more people. That whole 6 degrees of separation stuff. Also remember that I have a new Sticks-n-Stonez store, not only with Sticks-n-Stonez gear, but there's some patriotic stuff and just some funny stuff, and I'm adding something new to it all the time over at Redbubble. You can find the link in my bio. Just go to Linktree. Actually, I think I have Redbubble. It may be by itself there in the bio. So, go check the store out. I think you'll really like it. I'm adding new stuff pretty much every day. I'm also now an Amazon influencer. So if you look up Sticks-n-Stonez on Amazon, you will find I have one of my recommendation lists is cigars and pipes. And you'll see not only stuff that I use here on the show, but also the stuff that I use just in my own private life in smoking pipes and cigars. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. I am so glad I got to spend some time with you. I am so glad we are starting season 3. And until we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry, your stones cold, and have a great day.